For this kit, including 6 pieces the fast dry and dipping powder, as you can see, and 4 pieces the dip glue, the number 1 base, the number 2 activator, and the number 3 the top, and the number 4 brush saver. For this kit, including 6 pieces, the fast dry and dipping powder is the Nude color kit, and it's popular kit for our GH brand. So if you have interest, that you could enter the Amazon by searching GHdip. Today, our nail technician wear this 36, the number 36 from G643. So here's today's designs. We do the simple graffiti nail art design. So let's go for see that. And for this kit, actually, we have the limited time lining due soon, but today we don't have the limited time lining due. For this kit, you could have 6 pieces the Nude color and 4 pieces the dip glue. You could use it to make so many designs. Actually, we already done so many live stream for this kit before. If you have interest, that you could search GHdip on your Instagram or Facebook, that you could get more video to how to do our fast dry and dipping powder kit well. So let's go. So we already done our preparation. Now we pick up the colors. Here's the color, the number 27. It's kind of the light gray green. And for this color is the number 33, the Nude color. And these nudes like the skin, and we got 2 colors to make the design. And here is the number 65 from our G646. And it's kind of the red color to let the designs look more outstanding and gorgeous. So we need to prepare the balm pads. Actually, if you have the balm in your home or the primer, that you could use it to dry your nail beds. We already done our preparation like push back cuticle and cut off any excess cuticle. So now we're going to make the balm to dry your nail bed, and then to let the powder more stick with your nails. So today our mother's wearing is the fake nails, but actually if you making your own natural nails, that you must be to use the balm to dry your nail bed. And actually you need to use the nail buffer to remove shine or any oil from your nail plate. And it's kind of the necessary part to let the powder more long-lasting on your nails. So we prepare the number 1 base. For the number 1 base, we have to use it and brush evenly. So for this finger, we are going to make these designs first. We need to brush evenly for your nail bed. We need to apply the suitable volume and brush evenly from the middle left to the right. And put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the color powder. Stay for a second. Let the powder soak well with the dip glue. And tap off. So we need to brush off any excess powder. For this kind of the brush, you can find it from our dip powder accessories kit. And another layer on, we must be to brush the nail plate evenly to avoid your powder get bumpy or uneven. But actually, if you follow our step-by-step, that you won't have this kind of the problem. We need to dip into the color powder slightly and let it stay for a second. Take out. Going to tap off. So every time you need to brush off any excess powder because you do not want your brush to get dirty by the powder. So normally we suggest to do 2 applications is enough. The 2 coats is enough for our powder colors. It's already strong, but if you want more thick, that you could use another again. And now we need to apply the number 1 base again. Later we're going to pick some decals to make the designs like the graffiti. And naturally we already done this designs for this kind of the decals. We done it by the painting gel. So if you have the interest, that's we could take the video to show you how to make it. So we just use the tweezer to help to press on the decals on your nails randomly. Using the tweezer to help because this kind of the decals is so light and fine. It's easy to come off, but actually you could use the tweezer to help to press, and we already to brush one layer of the base, so it will stick with it. Just randomly line the graffiti. For this decals, we are DIY for by our nail technician by the painting gel. If you have the interest how to make this kind of the decals, that's we could take the video for you, show you how to make it. If you do have some stickers, that you could use the sticker and using tweezers to help to press on the nails. So randomly balance. And some place already dry, we need to use the base to help to brush some base to lap the decals more stick with your nails. Your decals more stick with your nails. For this kind of the decals, we are DIY make by our nail technicians, so it won't be self-adhesive. So if you have some sticker that's self-adhesive, that will be more easier for you to make this kind of the decals. So now after using this, we are going to using the nippers to cut off excess and using the tweezers to help the press. Let it more stay with your nails. So after that, we're going to take out to prepare our natural powder, the clear powder. For this clear powder that you can find is from our dip powder accessories kit. It's 2 ounces. It's bigger size. It's 4 times bigger than the half ounce, so it could be used for a long time for using. So now we're going to brush another layer of the base and to dip into the clear powder. For the clear powder to help to protect your designs, so here's the clear powder's usage. First, you could use it for the base as the base powder. And after the designs, you could use it to deco, to cover with your nails to protect your design. So if you're mixing large parts, we're going to make these fingers again to show you how to make it. First, we need to prepare the number 1 base. And every time brush the base to your entire nail, brush evenly from the middle left to the right. And then put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the color powder. Let it stay for a second for every time. So we're going to use the brush to help to brush off any excess powder. No matter which layer, we must be brushed evenly and very light volume of the base, and then dip into the color powder. So actually for the sharp nails, we don't suggest to use the clear powder as the base. We could do the color powder directly for 2 coats. And actually for 2 coats is enough and the color already strong. So another layer again, that we are going to pick some decals to do the decoration. So we are ready to prepare some decals by this kind of the very light and fine decals. If you have the sticker, you could use it. Just randomly to put it on your nails. And actually for this kind of the decals, we made by the painting gel. If you have the interest, you could PM with Caitlin that you have more interest on how to make it. You could contact with us. And actually, you could join into our Facebook group that we have so many nail lovers there to communicate their experience, how to make nails better. So you just by searching GHdip. Or you can scan our QR code on the package. So now we're going to do the decoration by the decals randomly with the tweezer. For the tweezer to help to stick it, to press it. more stick with your nails. If you find some place the base already dry, that you could brush a little bit on it. So X3 says it's kind of the simple graffiti nail art designs. So we are doing it on it, just like randomly to put your decals. And you could select any kind of the sticker to help you. So after the decals, we are going to brush another layer of the base. And every time brush evenly. And dip into the clear powder to help to protect your design. So for this kind of the decals is kind of the very light and fine. So you do not need to worry whether your nails will feel very heavy or stick. So now we're going to pick the red colors. For this red colors is the number 65 from our G646. So now we're going to use the base again for every nails. So we're going to apply the base to your entire nail. We just do the basic handle way, just dip into the color powder for 2 times. So if you are first to use the dip powder, you need to use the base and brush the base to your entire nail brush evenly. And do not let the base to get on your critical part, because when the base stick with your critical skins, you won't feel very good. And another, that the powder might be sticked with your critical skin. So every time you need to brush evenly to your entire nail. Do not let it get on your cuticle. So normally it's the basic handle weight, just 2 coats of the color. For every layer, we must be to brush off any excess powder. Actually, for our powder, because it's the fast drying dipping powder system, so the powder could be dried within 30 seconds by itself. So you do not need to worry whether the brush will be stick with some powder. So now we're going to brush the base on the edge of the nails. And to let the decals to stick with it. As I mentioned, where the base is, then the powder or any other else things that will be stick with it. So it's kind of the importance that you brush the base to your entire nail. So now we just brush half, maybe just 30% of the nails. We're going to do the decoration by this kind of the decals. Actually, if you have the sticker, that you could to make it by the sticker. So we're going to brush the base again, the number 1 base, to your entire nail this time. And brush evenly, because later we're going to use the clear powder to help to protect it. Brush evenly for your base. And try to dip into the clear powder. And let it stay for a second. So for our clear powder is the fast drying dipping powder system powder too. So for this kind of the powder, you just need to wait after 30 seconds that you could do the filing and buffing. Do not need to use the activator. Here's our highlight of our fast drying dipping powder. So if you're missing my last part, that's we are going to make the designs for this nail fingers. So we need to prepare the number 1 base. We are going to do the basic handle of the dip powder nails. Just to brush the base to your entire nail, brush evenly. And then put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the color powder and smooth enough. For powders, that you just need to do 2 coats. If you want to make the first layer of the clear powder, it could be used, but for the short nails, we do not suggest to use it. And if you have the interest that you want to buy the clear powder, you could buy our dip powder accessories kit. Or if you could join into our Facebook group, we have so many free gifts for our customers. So after 2 coats of the color, we're going to prepare some decals. And we need to make some decals to make it more small sizes. So now we're going to apply the base to your half of the nails or just 30% of your nails. And to take the decals on. For this kind of the decals, it's made by the painting gel, so it's just like the color block. It's like the graffiti nail art. So we're going to, because for our live stream, it takes a long time to make. If you have the interest, that you could contact with us, that we could take the video for you how to make this kind of the decals. It's so easy, made by the painting gel. So we're going to use the tweezer to help to press it, let it more stay with your nails. And you need to put it randomly on your nails, let it look more natural for the design. And going to use the tweezer to help to press, because for this kind of the decals, it's so fine. So after the decoration and after the designs, we are going to use the clear powder to help to protect the design. For our powder, because smooth enough that when you dip into your nails, you won't feel so heavy or thick. And let it stay for a second and take out. So for these fingers, we are going to leave it because for after 3 seconds, it could be dried by itself. That's where we are going to do the filing and buffing. Okay, so return to another finger. For another finger, we're going to use this color. It's like the light gray green. For these colors, it's called number 27. So we need to use the number 1 base again. And for today, it's the simple nail art design. So it's so basically for this kind of the handle. So for the first, you need to brush evenly to your entire nail for the base and to dip into the color powder. As you can see for our jar, the mouth of the jar is big enough. When you dip into the color powder, you won't feel the powder will be easy overflow. So here's the why we select this kind of the jar. That's first it looks gorgeous, and later when you do your nails on, then the powder will be easy to come out. So we need to dip into the color powder, let it stay for a second. And although it's ½ ounce, for the powder jar is big enough, so your nails is long, you could use the dip powder nails. So after using, you need to brush off any excess powder. For this top finger, we're going to use this color again, so we're going to do this color again for the basic handle way. So if you're first to use the powders you just focus on, first you need to prepare the number 1 base and brush evenly to your entire nail and dip into the color powder. Take out and going to tap off any excess. And brush off any excess powder. So for our powders, we're going to do 2 coats. If you have the interest to do more 3 or 4 coats, it's okay, but it just depends on. So we're going to brush another layer on, brush evenly for the base, and to dip into the color powder again. So if you feel the color is not strong, that's you could do another application again. Tap off, going to brush off any excess. And for another little fingers, we're going to use another nude colors. It's called number 33. Actually, for the fall season is coming and the autumn season is coming, so I think for the nude colors is kind of the popular colors for you to make the nails on daily life. So actually, for this kind of the nude colors, is kind of the popular and fashion. So we're going to brush evenly for the nails for base and to avoid the powders get bumpy or uneven. And actually for first, you must be to stir the powder to let the powder will not stick with each other. So return to this finger and try to do it if you miss it. So here's the number 1 base, and the powder, the number color calls number 33. The number 33 is kind of the nude color. We suggest do it 2 coats. And brush off an excess. And for this nude color is just like your skin color, but with a little bit pink, so it looks more gorgeous. If you want to do it on your natural nails, it will look very great. And very fit for your skin colors. Elegant, but not too so strict with the daily life. So now we're going to apply the base again for this finger. Brush evenly from the middle left to the right. And put your finger into the color powder, stay for a second. Normally we need to wait a second, then take out, going to tap off. And using a brush to help to brush off any excess. And then do it again for another layer. For our base, it's kind of the very thin base, so it's suitable for you to control it. But the viscosity is a little bit less than the top, but it's so easy to handle. You can control the base where it goes. So we turn to this finger. For this finger, the first layer we must be to use the number 1 base and brush evenly for every layer. As you can see, for our base, it won't be sticky together without any stringy look. So when you brush on your nails, it looks gorgeous and it's super easy for you to make the powder nails. Although you are the beginner, you just the first time to use the dip powder, so it's super easy to make it. So you could go over there for our somewhere on the Alibaba, on the Amazon, that you could see that. For our powders, it's so easy to make for our this powder kit. And we're going to take it 2 times and brush off any excess powder. So now we already done all basics. We need to keep the cap tightly closed. So because we are doing the live stream, we need to open all of the color powder caps. If you are at home, you must be to finish one color and then close one color cap to avoid the powder mixed together. So we are going to clean our table first, and actually after 30 seconds we are going to do the filing and the buffing. So we need to prepare the machine. Okay, we're going to take out our nail machine to help to do the filing. First, we need to use the nail file to do the filings on the nail plates and to turn to the cuticle. Actually, you follow our step by step, that you won't have any problem of the bumpy or uneven. But actually, for the filing, it's kind of necessary to make the nail surface more smooth. So if you are doing the nail designs on your nails, that you could use the nail file to make it more smooth on the nails. Because later we're going to apply the top on, and then to make your top looks more glossy. So when you do the filing by the machine, you need to take care of your cuticle skin, but you could adjust the speed of the machine, so you do not need to worry. First, we are going to do the filing on the nail plate. Because for the designs, we are already to cover with one layer of the clear powder. So you do not need to worry whether the decals will be easily come off. It won't be, because we are already using the clear powder to protect it. So did you learn it? If you do the designs or any glitter or shimmer or chunky glitter nail designs, we must be use the clear powder to protect your designs. It's so necessary to protect it when you do all your nail designs. So we're going to do the filing by the nail plate. And for our powders, no matter the color powder or the clear powder, it's the fast drying dipping powder. So it could be dried within 30 seconds by itself. So you do not need to worry whether we need to apply any activator. It do not need to apply any activator to let it dry, because it could be dried within 30 seconds by itself, no matter what temperature, from 0 degrees centigrade or up to 50 degrees centigrade. So here's the things, because the autumn season or the winter season is coming now. So I think most of clients, they are afraid whether the activator speed will be cannot catch the powder to let the powder dry. If you select our fast drying dipping powder, you do not need to worry the powder dry or not, because it could be dry within 30 seconds by itself. So we are going to use the nail file to shape your nails. It's kind of the necessary part. And for this kind of the nail file, is with the little sponge on the middle of the file. So it's used for the artificial nails. It's suitable for the artificial nail to shape it. And another, you could